Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashley and today we're going to be doing an experiment. Well, at least for me, an experiment, because this is something that I have never done before and it could either go really well or it could go epically bad. So I'm actually going to be taking a couple, actually 4 of my palettes and depotting them. I have been really into single shadows somewhat recently. Ever since ColourPop did their Build Your Own Palette promotion, I have been just stinking obsessed. This is the one that I did during that sale a couple of months ago, and I've just really been enjoying it. And it got me to thinking, after I did my palette declutters, that there are a lot of palettes that I enjoy but I never reach for, and it could be because they're smaller palettes or because I don't get what I think of a cohesive look from it or a varied look or whatever the case may be. So I went back through some of those palettes and I picked 4 of them out to depot and put into a magnetic palette. So again, never done it before. I don't really want to use heat, so all I'm going to be doing is basically ripping all of the packaging apart and hoping for the best. So here goes nothing. Alright, so here we have the 4 palettes that I'm intending to depot. I have to say, I'm unaccountably nervous to do this. So we have 4 palettes. We have my Ace Beauty, my Alamar Cosmetics, this is my Studio Makeup on the Go, and this is my Ulta 6-piece metallic shadow palette. So which one do I want to start with? I'm going to just try completely destroying the cardboard packaging itself rather than trying to heat it and pry it out. I've seen a few videos on depotting and I feel like that's probably the easiest method. So I do have my X-Acto knife here, and let's start with the Ulta one. I feel like that's going to have the least amount of packaging. Yep, just stiff cardboard. So let's let's try to do this without injuring myself. Okay, so far so good. Okay, so the back still needs some attention. Let's see what happens. Oh, okay. Ooh, I'm so nervous. Oh, a little bit of casualty. Not good, folks. Okay, that's looking good. No! Oh dear. Oh no. Oh, that's so sad. Maybe I'm too clumsy for this. All right, so overall, that went well. I'm cautiously optimistic. Obviously, if you want to save any of your package, that would not be possible with this method, but I didn't have any breaking from trying to pry it out, but we did learn that we have to be very aware of our surroundings and what else is going on. Otherwise, you will have issues like that. But I think overall, I think it did pretty well. I don't think that these pans are magnetized. Nope, definitely not. So I'll have to add magnets, but overall, I think that went okay. Okay, so next, let's go with this guy here. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm not sure at what point my camera stopped filming, but hopefully you didn't miss much. I'm just very carefully trying to peel back the layers of the cardboard so as not to damage the shadow or any of the shadows around it. I feel like these are actually softer shadows than the Ulta ones that we did just a few minutes ago. So I'm just trying to be very, very careful. This has thicker glue on it too. So I'm trying to be real careful while trying to pull it away so that I don't put too much pressure on the shadow and end up cracking it that way. Scared. I don't want the same thing to happen as what happened to the other shadows. Oh, a little bit did. Okay. Can't tell if that was the cardboard or my fingernail. These are talons. My gosh. Oh, I'm so nervous. Oh, I'm so nervous. Okay, okay, that's... So I am noticing that the pans themselves are kind of messy, so be careful. Like this one, for instance, has just pink shadow all over it. So I've got just a Kleenex that I'm trying to wipe the sides and bottoms with so as to minimize mess and transfer. All right, I feel pretty pumped. Of course, I'm just setting myself up for future disaster, but you know. All right, let's see if these are magnetized or no. They are not. I'm gonna need a lot of magnets. All right, number 3 is this guy right here. Let's see. And please, everyone, if you're going to be working with knives, be very careful. Oh, I feel like these are... Oh, this is going to be a little bit different. I think they're actually glued down to this backing here. Because when I put the X-Acto knife in, I can feel it hitting... Okay. Let's try this instead. Wow, that nearly was disastrous. Alright, let's see if we can peel some of this away without damaging the shadows. Yep, let's do this. Let's put on some guides for the brakes. Yeah. Okay, so this will be a little bit more difficult because we can't get rid of the packaging as a whole, I don't think. Just a wee little gouge. Oof. You see, I jinxed myself by saying that the first 2 went relatively smoothly. I should have known better. This is why I don't do fine things. A surgeon I could never be. Okay, so let's start peeling back a few of these layers and see what happens. Okay. Scissors. Oh, that's not cutting as easily as I thought it might. Oh my. Oh my. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, yep, just as I had suspected. It's actually glued down to that back piece, unlike the other two palettes. Okay, looks like I have removed as much packaging as I am going to be able to. So now comes the scary bit. Do I really want to do that with the knife? Let's try our fingers. Oh. Oh, oh. Oh, these are in place. Wow. Like all of that's glue. Just to let you know what I did, it's just easier when I'm holding it since there's this sort of bulbous area. I'm just wedging it underneath. Let me see if I can do it on camera without damaging the eyeshadow or my fingers. And I'm being very, very, very gentle because it's like an ice cube tray, right? If you twist it too much, then it's going to shatter the contents. So I'm just being very gentle and very patient and just trying to slowly separate it. Wow, this has got just a lot of glue. I mean, can't say anything, you know, negative about its construction, say that much. And I'm sure heat would help, but I was hoping to avoid the potential of burning myself in addition to the potential of cutting myself. Okay. It's definitely getting glue on my knife, which I don't really appreciate. I know that helps. Success! Oh my gosh, that was a rough one. And finally we have my Alamar palette. So let's see how this one does. Again, when using knives, be very careful. Definitely some glue in there. I really hope we don't have the same sort of situation, so let's try cutting through some of the cardboard layer. Seeing what we can discover. Alright, let's get to some of this cardboard and see what we find. Alright, we got some wiggle going on. Woohoo! got a crack. All right, 2 more. Oh, we have success, folks. That was rough, my friends. That one was rough. Okay, so the finished product, I ended up having to split all of them into 2 different palettes. So I have all of those kind of rusty purpley mauve shades in this palette here, and then everything else is in my Ofra palette. So I had to get magnets to put on many of the shades in here because they weren't magnetic palettes. And overall, I actually think that this was really far more successful than I think I was concerned about. I had a couple that were damaged. I'm sure you saw it in the footage. So let me bend this back real quick. So I think the worst damage was this shade right here. It got gouged by some of the cardboard, so that was unfortunate, but everything else made it out pretty well. There was a little bit of a gouge in this one right here, but just minimal. And then this shade, this dark brown shade from the Alamar palette, does have some cracking in it, so I do need to be really, really careful with that. I don't know how deep it goes, but overall, I think it was successful. But here's the thing. I don't know if I would do it the same way again, in a sense, because there were a couple of moments when I really should have just hurt myself a lot. I think I like the overall concept of just literally demolishing the packaging and doing it that way versus heating it up. But on a few of those, that glue, like all of these, I mean, that glue was intense. The ones from the Alamar palette also, the glue was just, it was hardcore. And I think I probably should have maybe used either just a little bit of heat, or I probably could have used a like a spatula, one of the metal ones that's intended for depotting, instead of just getting underneath there with the X-Acto knife itself, because I really could have hurt myself. So I do want to throw that out there, that I did not necessarily go about this in the safest way possible. So the next time I go about it, I'll probably do it just a little bit differently. But that's just to say, I still think overall it was a success. So I really hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you are new, then definitely welcome. I hope that you'll consider subscribing before you leave, and give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed depotting. I hope that you're having a really wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye.